Welcome to Hoosman Bros. I'm Justin and Aaron is sick today. So I'm at Rob's place, the Cayenne Whisperer, and we are going to be installing our skid plate on the Cayenne today. Before we go too much further, please subscribe for more great content and this fun build that we're putting on Bring a Trailer to see how that goes. Now, one of the things that we're doing today that I'm excited about is we're using something called a riv nut. Rob, what is a riv nut?
So a riv nut allows you to take what is essentially a hole and turn it into a threaded receptor for a nut. So what happens is, it's called a nutsert or a riv nut. Basically, we take this, we insert this using a special tool. It crimps down and creates an area that will hold the nut. And then we simply put, in this case, the skid plate, and then we'll just screw the nuts right inside here. It's a great tool. It's probably not used that often, but I think for folks that are doing fabrication or doing these kind of builds, you probably should add this to your arsenal.
So this is a pretty easy project today, right? This is probably the most complicated part of it?
Yeah, this is probably one of the easier projects that we'll do with this car, is installing these. So it should only take, I like to kind of gauge things in what I call wheels up to wheels down. In other words, lifting the vehicle to putting it down. This should be under an hour.
Excellent. So stay tuned because we should have a bonus picture of the Cayenne with the new wheels on it towards the end of this video. So should we get started?
Let's do it.
All right, great. So we're going to start out by test fitting our skid plate. We're going to have to mark that it ends up in the right place, so we'll get started on that.
If we look under the bottom of the Cayenne, you'll see there's quite a few holes. You may say, what are these for? Probably rain channels is more likely, but this is also a perfect area to insert these riv nuts. What we're going to do is insert this riv nut into this hole. Then we'll use this tool. This is the riv nut tool itself, and it basically what it does is it crushes this insert down and creates a very, very hard fitting that then we can install the bolts in.
Okay, Rob, I saw how you did the first one. So how do you set this thing up to install this?
Yeah, so you actually have a fitting based upon the riv nut size that goes into this tool here, right? Once it's inserted and there's a sleeve that goes over the nut that locks this in, we'll simply put a riv nut insert onto the riv nut tool. We'll cinch it down. Then what we'll do is we'll put it into the hole, which is right there. And we will begin to squeeze. You can see just like that. Then every time we squeeze, we want to tighten it a little bit because that's helping to take out the slack that's in that riv nut. So you can see that it's still turning, so it's not quite where we need it to be yet. So now a little bit more. Turn it a little bit more, a little bit tighter. There we go, a little bit more. And we're going to do this until basically we've taken out all the slack in the riv nut. And you see I'm grinding on it pretty good. That should do it. Then what we do is we take the riv nut out. So that's where we use this handle right here. See how it backs it out? And that was done. Awesome. Great. We'll do this one. We've got one more here. And we'll do the other side, and then we're ready to put the plate up and cinch her down.
Excellent. So if you have holes that need bolts and you need a riv nut tool, look down below. We have a link to buy the tool in the description.
So we have the 3 riv nuts installed on the passenger / right side. We're going to do the same thing on the left side now. So we've pre-marked the holes. We held the plate up utilizing our floor stand, and we have a hole that's marked here, one that's marked here, and one that's marked back here on the subframe. So each one's actually a different size because each hole is different. So you have to make sure in this case you just put the right riv nut into the right hole. That's it.
So that was pretty easy, all things considered.
Yeah.
The hardest part was probably the fiddly bit of lining up with your rib nuts and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So again, I think this is another one of those jobs that you absolutely need a lift for.
Yeah, I think it's tough if you're on the ground and you're laying down there and you're trying to. I mean,
Right.
you could do it if you with 3 people, somebody holding the front, somebody holding the back, and then somebody going around and aligning everything. But even the rib nut tool, you need some room to
leverage
torque
to it,
it,
right.
right? And if you're here like this, that's really tough.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a really tough one, but it looks great. I think
Yeah.
it's just a fantastic addition. And once we get those rock rails on there, this thing is ready to go.
Oh, it's ready to go. Yeah, this has been a good project. We've learned a lot, and we'll continue to learn stuff because obviously we're going to install rock rails, so that's going to be a new adventure.
You bet.
There's not a lot of resources online on how to install these, as you noted.
Right.
It's an OEM part. Porsche would have just put it on at the factory.
Right.
So it's going to take a little bit of fiddling, but I'm good at a little bit of fiddling. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
We'll do that next. I told you we would give you a little sneak peek of what it's going to look like when it's done, and we just got our wheels on. We're super excited. We have 18-inch wheels on this, and they clear the brakes just barely, but they look so awesome. So this is a sneak peek. Can't wait till it's done. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe for more of this project, and this whole build is more than just a project. It's an experiment to see what we can do on Bring a Trailer. So thanks for joining us. See you next time.